Middle school to early high school bio lesson 1. Do cells have a life cycle? Tell me your guess and why in the comment section below. Let's start with reviewing the cell theory and its principles. Principle number 1 says, all organisms are made up of cells. The organisms, can be either multicellular or unicellular. Unicellular means to be made up of only one singular cell, and multicellular means the organism is made up of more than one cell. Principle number 2 says, the cell is the basic unit of life. This should be straightforward, but don't hesitate to put any questions in the comment section. Principle number 3 says, all cells come from pre-existing cells. This means that all cells are a product of division or replication from a previous cell. These are 3 key principles of the cell theory to always remember. I hope that review got your brain a little warmed up. Now let's get right into it. Cells do in fact have a life cycle. It helps them grow, repair, and replicate. Let's quickly go over the life cycles of different types of cells in the human body. The cells in your colon have a life of around 4 days, from when they are made to the point when they die. Sperm cells, gametes, are up to 5 weeks. Skin cells are about 2 to 4 weeks. Red blood cells are around 4 months. Muscle cells are around 15 years, and nerve cells last the whole human lifetime. To better understand the cell life cycle, let's take a look at a simple and clear to follow diagram. This may look complicated at a first glance, but don't worry, let's break it down together. Firstly, you may observe that there is a big circle, but to the top left of it there's an unattached shape labeled G0. The big main circle you see represents the cell, and the sections within it represent different parts of its life cycle. G0 on the side is also a section of the cell's life cycle. However, it is displayed to the side because it is a dormant, aka paused stage. Basically, G0 is the starting point of every cell's life cycle, and it is the stage when the cell is essentially doing background activity. All cells go through this dormant stage, called the quiescent phase. Some cells like nerve cells even stay in this phase for the whole human life. Once the cell exits the quiescent phase, it arrives to the G1 phase. This is commonly known as the primary growth phase, and it is when the cell prepares for cell division by making the needed proteins for DNA replication. The cell also grows larger in size during this stage and slowly begins copying some of its organelles in preparation to replicate or divide. Next, the cell moves one phase to the right and arrives to the S phase, aka the synthesis stage. During this stage, the cell's inner DNA is copied and duplicated in the process of DNA replication. In humans, each somatic body cell has 42 chromosomes to start. During the S phase, this number is doubled to become 92. Basically, the synthesis stage is when a cell doubles its DNA before dying, so it can later successfully divide into 2. Moving even further down the diagram, next is the G2 phase. Also, you may have noticed the blue stars that keep appearing. Don't worry about those for now, we will explore those near the end of the lesson. Anyways, back to G2 phase. This is the next stage of a cell's life after synthesis, and it is commonly called the secondary growth phase. During G2, the cell makes its final preparations to divide, similar to how a human double-checks their luggage before boarding a flight. An example of a process in G2 could be the cell making additional, missing proteins to ensure a smooth division process in the upcoming phases. After G2 comes the M phase. Its formal name is the meiotic phase, but it is also commonly referred to as mitosis. During mitosis, the cell finally divides. Mitosis has 4 stages, which I'll be going over in depth in one of our upcoming lessons. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay notified on lessons. For now, I will go over briefly what the 4 stages are called and an acronym to help you remember them. I like to remember the word PMAT for the stages, which are in the order as follows: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Personally, I came up with they saying I play Monopoly after tennis to also help me remember. The I stands for interphase, play is prophase, Monopoly is metaphase, after is anaphase, and tennis is telophase. Feel free to use my saying and acronym, or if you'd like to, you may come up with your own. Once again, it's I play Monopoly after tennis, with each first letter representing a stage. I hope this was a useful tip. Now moving on to the final stage of cell's life cycle, cytokinesis. During cytokinesis, the cytoplasms separate to turn that one cell into 2 individual cells. At this stage, the starting cell dies, leaving its 2 child cells to continue to reproduce the same way it did. You may be thinking, wow, such a simple process, but what if something goes wrong? Well, that's where the cell cycle checkpoints come in handy. In our diagram, these checkpoints are represented through blue stars. Cell cycle checkpoints' job are to keep all cells healthy and normal, to help avoid diseases like cancer. If the cell cycle was to occur without checkpoints, then cells could potentially go from one phase or skip to the next before they are reading, cause abnormal cells, for example cancerous cells. Cell cycle checkpoints are essential for proper human health. The first cell cycle makes the cell ask itself, is the cell big enough? This checkpoint focuses on growth, and it is between the end of phase G2 and start of S phase. The second checkpoint makes the cell ask itself, did we replicate all the DNA? This checkpoint focuses on DNA replication, and it is at the end of the S phase. The last, third checkpoint makes the cell ask itself, are we ready to divide? This checkpoint focuses on readiness to divide, and it is at the end of the meiotic phase, before cytokinesis. I hope this was a beneficial and enjoyable lesson for you. Good luck on the material, and full notes are linked in the description section of this video and in the pinned comment as well. Before you go test your understanding with this 9-question quiz I've prepared for you. Pause the video and take your time as needed, no rush. Put your answers and guesses down in the comment section below so both me and other viewers can check them for you or help out if needed. The first question is, what are the 3 principles of the cell theory? The second question is, how well can you draw the cell cycle diagram? The third question is, what is the cell lifespan of a nerve cell in the human body? The next 3 questions are, what are the 2 main phase categories in the cell cycle? How many cell cycle checkpoints are there? And what happens in the S phase? And the last 3 questions of the quiz, including a bonus one, are, what are the stages of mitosis called? What is the end goal of a cell's life cycle? And the bonus question is, what happens if a cell does not pass a checkpoint? Try your best to think of the answer, it's written upside down for you to check. That's all for today's lesson number 1. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button and bell icon to get notified for the next lesson, it's highly appreciated. See you next time.